You aren't going to have to share parts of your story in order to help somebody else. Because otherwise, why are we going through this life? Why are we living through the experiences that we live through if we're not willing to share them, if we're not willing to help somebody else through our own story? Hey guys, it's Dr. Sonia here with Jump First. Say it with me. Done is better than perfect. Master one thing at a time. Practice makes better. And this has to work. Let's get it. Hello. What is going on? Awesome party peeps. It's Dr. Sonia here with Jump First. And today's message is very straightforward. Your life, the new one, the one that you want, is waiting for you. If you don't know what we do here, we talk all things premium courses, whether they be online or face-to-face, how you can take what it is that you know, your life experiences, your expertise, your knowledge, and package it into the format of courses and luxury coaching and mentorship brands. If that's something that interests you, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notification so you know when more episodes like this drop, and we can hang out live. What is going on, IG? It's good to see you on as well. So today I want to bring this real quick because I know sometimes we get bogged down doing the same things that we have been doing, whether we are paralyzed out of fear. Okay, is this new thing that we want to do going to actually work? Is it the right choice? And we start operating, especially as high performers, high achievers, out of logic. Okay, we make logical decisions. We want to make sure, is this the right choice? Does this make the most sense? And oftentimes that overrides what we should actually be listening to, which is our intuition. Okay, your heart is not going to mislead you. That next step that you know, that you feel inside of your heart, that's the right next step, is typically the right next step. Now, let me caveat this by saying, because I know sometimes, again, we are logical, especially as high performers. So when you look back over your life, you look at some of the mistakes that you've made, you look back at, I was led by my heart the first time, it didn't work out, right? But here's the perspective shift that I want you to take into consideration, because we have all heard the saying, you can't get what you want, you can't get more if you keep doing what you've been doing. You can't get anything different. And so when we look back at some of the mistakes that we've made, some of the lapses in judgment, as a lot of people like to call it, because we've made decisions based on our heart, based on our intuition, based on what we thought was the right path for us, I need you to look at it from this perspective. It wasn't not the right path, okay? When you are looking to grow, because you cannot grow if from the same space that you are in. And so when you're looking to grow, you're growing from where you are to where it is that you are going. So you're moving forward. You can only look back and see what has occurred from the forward space, right? From where you have grown to. And so in the moment that you made the decision based on your intuition, based on your heart, based on what you thought was the right next step, in that moment, it was the right next step, because there was something that you had to learn. There was new wisdom to be gained, okay, and earned from that specific experience. So instead of looking at things in a negative light, like I try so hard these days, not even try, I am doing, okay, and walking in this space. And sometimes when I'm not doing it, I'm catching myself like, oh, hold on, we got to go back and reframe that, because the things that are happening to you right now, the things that happened to you that you viewed as a negative experience or something that was taking away from what you actually wanted, is actually working for your benefit. It's actually working for your good. It's actually teaching you what you need to learn and the things that you need to have in order to succeed at the next level. Like, that's literally it. What's going on? Brighter Horizon Foundation, I appreciate you for the request to join. I will add you in a second. But I need to bring this real quick because it's just so important for us to start to think about it in this way. Instead of thinking so negatively about what's going on in the world around you, start looking at it as an opportunity for growth. How is this growing me? What is this teaching me? This is why I also teach courses the way that I teach courses. You're teaching from wisdom. You're teaching from learned experiences, okay? So you have had to go through something in order to teach somebody what not to do, okay? How to avoid the mistakes that you have made and how to actually get the results without going through and spending all the extra time, money, energy that you had to spend in order to get where it is that you are. Now, I'm not saying that everything that happens to us in life is gravy, okay? I'm just saying, like, it's a necessary part of your journey, a part of your story. And if you aren't showing up and sharing your testimony with other people, like, Look, y'all know I'm a church girl, okay? But it really is that. It's a testimony. It's a testimony of triumph, of how you overcame. If you're not showing up and sharing that, you aren't going to have to share parts of your story in order to help somebody else. Because otherwise, why are we going through this life? Why are we living through the experiences that we live through if we're not willing to share them, if we're not willing to help somebody else through our own stories, okay? And so I need you to reshape, reframe these experiences that you are having, and also take fear out of the situation, right? Out of what it is, out of your choice, out of what it is that you're gonna go do. Because a lot of people are paralyzed by fear or familiarity, okay? Like it's one of the two. It's you're comfortable where you are, so you're like, I'm not gonna take the chance, or every single day you're thinking about taking the chance, but because you already have mapped out your daily activities, or you have these things that you are already so used to doing, you're like, I'll get to it tomorrow, I'll get to it next week, I'll get to it next month. And then before you know it, life is lifing, and it's a year later or 2 years later. Same thing with fear. You know, you start to think about, well, is this the right choice? I'll wait till something better comes along. Is there going to be another opportunity, another choice, another thing for me to do? And then life starts lifing, and it's a week later, a month later, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, right? And you're sitting on the dream, you're sitting on the vision, the goal that you have. And so you have to move yourself out of familiarity, and you have to move yourself out of fear and start acting not just based on logic. I'm not saying don't think about your decisions. Please don't get me wrong there, okay? I'm not saying don't think about them. I'm saying don't allow your logic to sometimes override your intuition, to override your gut feeling, that heart telling you this is the right direction, okay? Even if it doesn't go as you think it should go, it is all working according to the plan, okay? Because it has to teach you something. Every life experience teaches us something that's going to get us to the next level. If you're asking for a next level, you got to be okay with what comes with that. Okay, what comes with the territory? Sometimes there are tests, there are trials. Okay, there are things that happen that come with the territory of you getting to your next level. So be okay with it and count it as all good, count it as all joy. But understand, like, start thinking about what you're experiencing as what's the wisdom that I need to gain from this, right? What do I need in order to get to the next level? I talk to my mentors all the time, and I'll never forget one of my mentors said, I would not be able to handle the capacity or the level at which my business is now if I didn't go through all the hardships of trying to figure this thing out from the beginning. Okay. And I think about that all the time, not just with business, but personal relationships, familial relationships, all sorts of things. Okay. I started thinking about, man, like all throughout my life, I've gone through so much education wise, and you can think about your life too, right? Everything that you've gone through to this point, you can look back and go, I see why I went through that. Okay. And it's always like that. You'll look back at this period in your life, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, maybe a year from now. And you'll go, I see why I had to go through that. I understand now why this had to happen so that I could get here. And so what makes you think that what you're going through right now isn't going to be the same thing? Right? It's going to be the same thing. No matter how much time passes before you realize it, you will look back on this period of time. You will look back on some of the decisions that you made and go, now I get it. All right. So don't let logic hold you back from doing the thing that you know you're supposed to do. Jump. Okay. Go for it. Jim Rohn says it best, and I'll listen to this all the time. Maybe I'll post something later on today with his voice in the background. But he says, everything is risky. Life is risky. Business is risky. Marriage is risky. Everything is risky. And he's like, you know what is so risky? We're born into risk. He's like, and our entire lives are risky because we don't get out of it alive. Okay. So I love the way that he phrases it. I'll post it in his own words. I'm summarizing, but I'll post it in his own words sometime later today. But life is risky. Everything you're going to do is risky. Take the risk, jump, okay? Sometimes you are surprised and amazed at how it turns out. I love y'all so much. I hope this is super helpful. I don't know if you guys are still requesting to pop in, but I will add you in case you are here. I appreciate y'all. What's going on, Christina? Good night to you. Let me know what time it is where you are watching from. Jalen, what's going on? It's good to see y'all. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notification so you know when more episodes like this drop and we can hang out live. If you're interested in learning more about packaging your courses, go to jumpfirstacademy.org to get started. Good morning. Okay, so it's not night. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you on as well. I appreciate you. Awesome sauce. Again, please share this with somebody else who you know is interested in packaging courses, needs some inspiration and encouragement today, and head over to jumpfirstacademy.org to get started. I love y'all. I will catch y'all back here tomorrow. Have an amazing, amazing day, and thank you so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate y'all. Bye, y'all.